WEagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpa at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng pera. Tulong at tulong, ipag WEagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight.
Today, and our topic and everything for today will be just as fun as the first one, right? It's gonna keep the hype going.
Yeah. They are gonna keep the hype going, and personally, I feel so much hype because honestly, first tandem natin together. We're doing our first show together, but also this is the first time we're actually bringing in the whole MVP community together in one show. That's why last week, we were able to really get so many good insights from our guests about this new normal in the whole org setting.
Yeah, that's so true. As in, we came here together, different orgs in one pseudo MVP. The energy was just so amazing, no? And exactly, this is our new normal. So this is all we've got for MVP. And speaking of our new normal, how has your past week been naman, Shan, diba? It's been 2 weeks of school, diba? It's been 2 weeks of school, and I think this officially marks your second week of your senior year, senior citizen, guys. Oh my gosh.
Grabe, as a senior, I actually don't feel the differences in the days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's all the same to me. But honestly, I'm really thankful for these Fridays because at least I have something to look forward to at the end of the week, and I hope our audience and our listeners are also looking forward to this.
Yes, that's so true. Parang feeling mo like summer body clock pero hindi sa hindi sa utak. You have to like keep your mind going, but you can't tell apart the days. But that's actually so true. Fridays are so special now because of this show. And so last Friday, actually looking back, our first Kwentuhang MVP, we celebrated the culmination of RecWeek Online's first week with our guests Enzo, Gabs, Ams, and Cams. Naalala mo sila?
Grabe yung nickname, man. Honestly, today's episode, we want to also bring that closeness in and bring that FC in with all our new guests today. I'm so excited for that, Gia. I guess we're gonna watch out for that from past RecWeek heads. Now we have members of the actual orgs who are welcoming in the new members.
Yes, and I'm actually so excited to see like how our guests are gonna jive well today. And exactly, like diba sa backstage pa lang, we were already paying FC to them, like asking for their nicknames and stuff. It's gonna be so much fun. Like who knows what pasabog our guests and where our whole kulitan is just gonna have today. But you're right, no? Like in other news, RecWeek is about to end its closing and it's actually on its last day tomorrow, no?
Yes! Oh my goodness, guys. So RecWeek ends officially tomorrow at 7 p.m. The forms will close, but as early as now, the orgs are actually unexpectedly receiving so much love and support from the whole community because, Gia, I received news from, naalala mo si Echo from our last guest.
Siyempre, naalala ko siya.
Actually, shout-out nga siya ng nanay niya sa Facebook Live.
Oo, nakita ko. Grabe si tita.
Grabe yun.
Hashtag.
He actually updated me about the stats of RecWeek, and so far, we have had 177,000 website visits.
That's crazy.
Exactly. And registration totaled to 15,500.
Wow! That's great. So, kung hindi pa yan success, hindi ko na alam. That's actually so great. Last time we were just saying it was 120 visits, but now it rose up so much. So that's so good. Congrats to our RecWeek team. Let's give them a
and to
round
all our
of applause,
orgs.
And to all of our orgs, of course. And speaking of that, it's so nice to see that a lot of people still want to be part of the Ateneo community despite, the online setting and such trying times. And looking back, actually, last week, I only just got to join one more org because as a junior, kota na ako sa 4 na org, diba? Oh, ikaw naman, Shan.
Ako naman, well, actually, if you joined one more org, I just have a list of like what if orgs in my head. But you know what? It's gonna be online naman, so I think it's gonna be easier for us to really be part of different org events and community. So with volunteering and attending different events, I think that's gonna be doable, and that's probably what I'll do.
Oh, that's so true actually. Kasi online naman lahat. Like a lot of orgs are sharing, their pubs, their live streams like this. So we can just easily join and feel the spirit of other orgs as well. Actually, aside from that, na-excite din ako sa another thing I look forward to every school year are new members in org.
Oh my gosh,
like meeting
yes! That's so true.
Oo, doon ako nagsa-scout ng mga bagong crushes.
Sabi ko, sabihin mo yun. Kilala ka ta.
Oy, true naman to sa lahat ng, or like most of the
true.
Ateneans, di ba? Huwag nyo i-deny,
Now, Mens, actually, it's gonna be so much easier now that we're on Zoom kasi pwede na lang natin ipin yung video ng question for looking at.
Tama. Kumari kayo ng Zoom call, di ba? Actually.
Jokes aside from, hunting for new people, it's really welcoming the whole new member base into the community and setting the tone for what's to come for the next school year. That's what GAs are really for, di ba, Mens?
Yeah. And exactly that. Speaking of GAs, they're actually the real beginning to the org life, diba? We had RecWeek and it was people think it's the beginning, but it's actually like just it's the negative one. It's like the super beginning. GAs are the real beginning.
Level 0.
Where we really get to, yes, level 0, yes. And there's so much to look forward to pa after RecWeek. So there are app processes, interviews, auditions, and GAs. At dahil nga preoccupied, nadidistract kami sa mga GAs sa crushy hunt namin, we might not be the best people to talk about it, right, Shan?
Yes, Gia, that's why we've invited some exciting guests to tell us more about how they're transitioning to the online setting, how they're making sure that their members are welcomed into the community, and what the better way to handle that is for people who actually are handling GAs right now. And we're going to be talking about that later on. Diba? That's our Kwentong MVP for today.
Yes. So since you brought that up, the first part of our Kwentuhang MVP today will be the breakdown or the anatomy. Anatomy of general assemblies. All right. So with that, no, I think we're ready to introduce our guests. Shan, don't you think?
Yes, Gia, let's bring them in. The people who are handling general assemblies right now. Let's welcome in Vicente and Kathleen Go, the project managers of the Ateneo Management Engineering Association, better known as Mayor!
Yeah!
Come on in, guys! Grabe, pagka-on pa lang ng mic, narinig ko na yung Mayor.
Oo! Na-feel mo ng mga Maya spirits, diba? When they just ask, hello, Kathleen, hello, Sab.
Would you like to say hi to all the Mayamors of this world, all the listeners and viewers right now, and introduce yourself?
Hi, guys. Hello, I'm Sab Vicente, and I'm from 3BSME.
And I'm Kathleen Go, and I'm also from 3BSME.
Yeah!
Yay! Hello!
Welcome, guys!
Grabe! Hello! Thank you so much for joining us in this fine afternoon. I'm pretty sure we're all busy, but Friday, we're so happy you're here to just unwind with us here in MVP. So before we get into the meat of the discussion, of course, Shan and I would just like to know and ask how you guys have been, with online classes, with org work. Magkamustahan lang tayo. Who wants to start? Maybe we can go with Sab.
I've been good so far. Classes have been stressful, but luckily my profs are considerate naman. They've been adjusting their deadlines and schedules, so good so far.
That's
so far,
great.
so good.
That's great. I. How about you, Kathleen? How about you?
Same with me naman. Everything's still pretty manageable. Nothing too crazy so far.
That's great, guys, to know that you're adjusting well to the online setting. But maybe we can talk about how we're adjusting our RecWeek and our GAs to this online setting. So how has RecWeek been for you guys? Any new orgs in the list? Gia had one. I didn't have any. Maybe you guys had. Kathleen? Or Sab? Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. For me, it's been really cool to see how RecWeek has been adjusting online. It's so nice to see all the orgs, PubMats, and all the initiatives that they have for recruiting new members. Personally, I haven't gotten to signing up for new orgs, but I know that there's still a day left, so I still have time to check it out.
True. How about you, Kathleen?
Yes. It's been really interesting to see how orgs present themselves in the online setting. But I also haven't signed up for orgs yet. I'll probably do that tonight.
Yeah, guys, everyone's saying, you still have time. We have until 7 p.m. tomorrow to get those numbers going up and to actually explore your interests with orgs, right, Kia?
Yeah, that's so true. And it's actually so easy to sign up. I feel like because it's so easy, you guys should end up with 3 orgs by tonight. Feeling ko, maaliw talaga kayo. So that's so great to hear, no? But moving on, well, today's topic, as we mentioned, is all about general assemblies and all of that. We just wanted to ask how you guys were able to experience, how your experiences were in GAs, and also how you were able to plan some of these, the overall flow and how these were brought about, diba? So since you guys are project managers, is it okay if you tell us a little about your past GA experiences and that led you to want to become project managers this year? Anyone can
I guess
start?
Yeah,
thanks, Kathleen. Go
I guess for OLGA experiences, it was really about communicating the value the org had to present for the year. So we really wanted to communicate that too, but in a different way, especially targeting a more specific segments in the org, which is what our goals as PMs are this year. So yeah.
How about you, Gab? Sab, sorry. Do you have any notable fun GA memories that made you want to be a project manager for this year?
Yeah, same as Kathleen. Like in our past GAs in Maya, it was really nice to hear about all the opportunities that they had in store for us. So I remember like sitting down and listening to all of it. It was all really exciting, kind of overwhelming, but really exciting also. And I think from there and from being a part of other Maya initiatives, it led me and also Kathleen to want to become a part of the General Assembly itself for this year.
Okay, so actually, I'm not so sure, but if I'm not mistaken, RecWeek and GA for Maya is one project, correct? So how has this experience been like planning not just for the GA itself, which is a big event on its own, but also for the whole entire duration of RecWeek?
Yeah, okay, actually, it's been a roller coaster. We also didn't expect that this year's Rec Week and GA, or Ruga as we call it in Maya, would be like this. Like for Rec Week becoming 2 weeks long and then having our GA also for 1 week long. It was a longer project than we anticipated, but then with all of those changes, it's been really fun to think of new ways for how to adapt our GA and how to still communicate the value that we want to communicate to our members.
Also, that's really great to hear. Yeah, that's really great to hear. Actually, since you've mentioned it, like it is a little difficult. Like there's so many things that you guys hadn't anticipated. No, so can you take us a little through the planning process of how your project came to be? No, so what challenges did you face as you were planning this? What are some things you took into consideration as the project goes or went live?
I think one of the biggest considerations we had to factor in was really the online setting, how we are going to be able to assemble people together and really communicate value and ensure that the culture of Maya is communicated in the same way like we would in the previous years. So generally difficulties, we're just trying to push for interactiveness among the members. And I guess Wi-Fi has been a really big issue now, especially with PLDT announcing that there will be a shutdown. So we've been planning contingencies for this with our core.
Okay,
Oh,
wait,
that's really,
I'm
really
actually really curious, like what you said about how to make it interactive. Because honestly, right now with the whole online setting, it's so hard to establish like personal relationships with your org mates.
True.
So are you guys doing anything differently this year to establish that interactiveness and engagement with your members?
Yeah, and really quick. I heard that you guys had this, you have this interactive adventure called Maya Cruise.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard about that.
Yeah. Oy, nag-research ako. Wow. Pero yun. Yeah, I heard about that. Like, name pa lang, it sounds so exciting. So, could you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, sure. So the Maya Cruise was this interactive event that we held last Monday. Yeah, and it was our initiative to reach out to old and also potential members of Maya and really try to help them learn more about what they can expect in the org. So we tried to make it as interactive as possible by first starting with an FB live stream so that people can be notified and we can gather and watch the start of the event. And then after that, the participants or the viewers were led to a YouTube channel that was personalized per batch. So for whatever batch you are, you have a set of videos that you can watch and you can learn about how Maya caters to you in your specific batch. And then after that, there was a grand finale in our Maya website, which got to welcome the members, welcome the viewers, and encapsulate what Maya has to offer them for the year.
Oh my gosh, that's actually so cool. I've never heard of something like that, Gia. I don't know about you.
Yeah. It's definitely new. Like YouTube channel per batch. Wow, that's great. I'm pretty sure a lot of Maya Mars like had their YouTuber dreams fulfilled with that initiative, diba? Like I'm pretty sure like apart from just really it's a good way, it's really a good way to bring the Maya members together and just establish that org culture, exactly like what Kathleen said earlier. Like you guys are really striving to make sure that that's established, so that's so good to hear.
But actually, I'm really wondering though. Sorry, Gia, I just wanted to step in a little bit and ask about how you're trying to make the members more connected through that Maya Cruise, because it really interests me, like how it's per batch. And so, is there anything you're following, like a group or like a family? I don't know, day or like a breakout room. I'm not so sure. Maybe you can share so that the other orgs listening can, try to get some tips.
What we did was like for each the videos aren't the same per batch. So each video sort of caters to the value we think that each batch would like go for. So for example, for seniors, we focus more on career. For freshmen, we really strive to introduce what May has to offer. While for like juniors and sophomores, we show them the projects available for them. And the way we like framed it was that they could kind of choose which value. So each batch had around like 4 videos they could go through so that they could really take in all the value Maya has to offer.
And this was kind of asynchronous, like you could do it at your own time.
Yes.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Wow, I love that. Parang module 0. Module 0 to 5.
No, but this is
I love
really
that.
interesting because it's like the orgs are really trying to go out of the box and think creatively on how to engage with their members, how to really communicate the value of orgs, like what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, because sometimes like although Zoom is amazing and it's great, like you can hold like assemblies and orientations this way, there are undeniable technical difficulties. Sometimes it gets, it can get boring. Like, and you don't know if they're engaging or they're just there because they have to, right? So what you guys have done, it's really so amazing, very creative and out of the box. So congrats to you guys for launching such a great project.
So I hope the orgs listening right now can take a few tips. Maybe you guys can connect with Sab and Kathleen here if you want any other share any other best practices or just engage in conversation with them. Because I'm sure orgs right now are just looking to collaborate, and that's what this is all about, right, Gia?
Yes, that's so true, actually. And just to end things a little bit, like with the whole topic of GAs. Are there any tips that you can give aspiring project managers or members or project managers again, like project management tips on how to handle projects like this, like the nature
especially
of
with
GAs.
contingencies, right?
Yes, like you guys mentioned. So a general nature of a GA or other projects. Yeah. Any tips you can share?
Yeah. So siguro as project managers, your roles would be to set the direction for the project and to lead your entire core team, motivate them to come up with the best GA for the members. So one tip we have is to always start with first what it is exactly you want to communicate and what it is about the org that you want to show your members. And then the how you'll communicate it will follow after. So even if we were so used to physical GAs last year, but to adjust it to the online context, if we start with what we're trying to communicate, if we go back to the values and the opportunities in our own orgs, then we can always find a way for how to communicate that online.
How about you, Kathleen?
I guess I would really encourage everyone to be as creative as possible, especially in this online setting. We have so many avenues that we can go for, instead of just Zoom and Facebook live stream. So yeah, really just try to tap into the innovation of your org, and that communication of value isn't limited to the physical setting.
Oh, thank you so much, guys, for sharing those tips. Well, that ends a little bit of our segment for Gs today. But guys, you're not gonna see Sab and Gia. You're not gonna see the last of Sab and Kathleen here. Guys, we're gonna welcome them back in later on, right, Gia?
Yes, we are. Pinapaalis mo
Something
ako.
exciting.
Grabe ka siya. But yes, thank you so much, Sab and Kathleen, for everything you shared. I'm pretty sure a lot of aspiring project managers or just org people in general learned so much from your tips, no? So we'll see you guys again later. Don't leave, all right? We got a special segment for you guys. All right, so let's say goodbye for now. Bye, Kathleen. Bye, Sab. Thank you so much.
Bye, Sab and Kathleen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, Gia, that really is so interesting how we're closing in on RecWeek and all the signing up stage, but now we're entering the hello orgs, hello member stage, we're really trying to immerse ourselves into the actual experience now.
Yes, actually, you're so true. Again, like I mentioned in the beginning, this is really just the start of it all. So it's really so great that we're closing off RecWeek this way. And yeah, like as you said, RecWeek is wrapping up. So let's take a glimpse on the council behind this annual project for organizations. All right, let's watch this quick video. Ready? In 3,
Excellence,
2,
nation building, and community. These are the values we stand for. COA is united in developing Ateneans to be active, competent, and holistically formed leaders who contribute to nation building through the Ignatian tradition of service and excellence. The Council of Organizations of the Ateneo Manila is the sole autonomous confederation of all 56 duly accredited student organizations in the Ateneo de Manila University. In COA, we believe in doing what we do best with a lot of heart, consisting of 9 different clusters, from the Analysis and Discourse Cluster to the Business Cluster, Faith Formation Cluster, Health and Environment Cluster, Intercultural Relations Cluster, Media and Creative Arts Cluster, Performing Arts Cluster, Sector-Based Cluster, and the Science and Technology Cluster. We may come from different fields and interests, but we all bring something new to the table. We are forever in search of new members, new blood to orient to the different cultures of the Ateneo. Members are our driving force, and we believe that by allowing these members to grow in our organizations, we are forming future leaders and pacemakers. We engage in our passions, and this is how we build our nation. This is COA Manila.
Alright! Grabe yung 2-minute video na yon that gave us a glimpse of the whole 2 weeks of RecWeek.
Grabe, 2 weeks of RecWeek in 2 minutes. Ang galing, no? So great. All right, so before we move on to our next segment, I just really like to say hello to our viewers, no, Shan? Let's say hi to our viewers.
Hello to our viewers!
Hello! So, I just heard like we are coming into you loud and live from our homes via the Facebook pages of Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM, Ateneo de Manila University, and of course, the Council of Organizations in the Ateneo. So you can stream us via Radyo Katipunan's YouTube channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. But not only that, right, Mens? We have a wider reach than that pa.
Exactly. So we are coming into you via audio streams at any shoutcast online radio stations around the world. So just search for Radio Katipunan, or if you are within the 2-kilometer radius of Ateneo de Manila campus, we are transmitting with the 87.9 FM frequency. So guys, just keep tuning in because we have some 30 minutes of fun and chatting for you guys up ahead.
Yes. God, did I hear that right? Around the world? That's crazy.
Exactly. Also,
That's
mag-hi
so
ka na,
good.
not just to the Philippines, but to the world. Go, Gia. This is your moment.
Hello. I am Gia from Parañaque City, Philippines.
And I am Shania from Pasig City.
Woohoo! Ay nako, masyado na natin kinakarir to. Okay, let's move on na. So again, going back to RecWeek, like if it taught us anything, it's really to be creative and to think outside of the box, right, Shan?
That's true. And now that we've established how orgs usually welcome their members into their organizations after RecWeek, now I'm wondering exactly how they're going to push those boundaries and be extra creative with how to adapt to the online setting and really engage with their members.
Yeah, and to give us a perspective on how organizations are envisioning this new year and making sure, exactly what Shan said, making sure their members are still having opportunities and for growth and all of that. Even if we're still at home, like we've prepared a lineup of guests who can tell us all about how organizations are making sure that their members are like growing and safe that way, right?
Yes,
all right,
guys.
so I think it's time that we introduce them, Shan, don't you think?
Papasukin na natin sila. Let's welcome in our guests for our next segment. Carolino from ACOMM, Julia Bayoneta from Code, and Annika Coscolluela from Coalesce. Welcome, guys!
Hello.
Hello, guys! Welcome to the world, guys!
You didn't forget. Ay, nako, nakalimutan ni
Nakalimutan ni
Von.
I'm sorry.
Guys,
I love it.
why don't you say hi to the Philippines, to Ateneo, to the world? because we are live.
Hello po.
Demure!
Hello, hi everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, guys, for thank you so much for joining us today on this show. And we'd of course like to know how you are. So, why don't you tell us how you've been like this past few weeks with RecWeek starting, with school starting? So maybe you can start with Julia.
Okay, so thanks, Shan. Right now, I'm actually a bit busy with code application process, so it's actually still ongoing until now. But other than that, I've been going through, my modules and all of that, still adjusting to the online learning kind of thing, but getting by naman. So yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Julia. Guys, if you didn't know, she's
Julia.
actually the homeroom today, the Human Resources Department VP. So with her, we have external members and also important members in the organizations who will be talking about and are really interacting with members. So that's exactly why our Kwentuhang MVP today is all about how to connect with the members and build a relationship with them. And I think Vaughn can tell us a little bit more about that. How is it like with interacting with people, talking to people even in this online setting? It's so hard. I don't know about you, but for me it is.
That's super, super true. Like, I honestly wish I could say that things are going better than it is. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree that it's really difficult just to try to integrate ourselves in an entirely new system. But at the same time, you really have to do it day per day. So just wake up, do whatever you need to do, try to pace yourself as much as you can. And at the same time, I've been trying to be more lenient with taking care of myself also. So whenever I feel like I need to sleep or I need to eat, I really listen to those tendencies rather than on campus, minsan nakakalimutan ka na rin kumain minsan.
True.
And the 15 units, I don't recommend it, but we're gonna survive. We're gonna survive.
15 units!
Ang lala,
I-add mo pa
grabe
yung
siya.
orgs mo doon. Grabe.
Kaya nga, hosting pool cohort, grabe. Actually, vouch ako kay Von ha, kasi groupmates kami. So alam ko he's, doing his best talaga to manage everything. Di ko akalain na 15 units pala siya, tapos ganun siya ka-active sa mga group works. Diba? So props to you, Von. So good to hear that, you're taking it day by day and you're doing okay.
Thanks,
How about
Gia.
you, Annika? How about you?
I'm good also. Like Julia, we're also in the middle of the application process of COA. So I've been really busy doing interviews with our applicants and just trying to, make sure that I'm on track with my modules. Naman, it's so easy to get left behind. Parang nasa module 3 na nakapost, nasa module 2 pa lang ako. Just trying to make sure that I can keep up with everything.
So Annika is actually from COA. Annika, can you tell us more about how RecWeek has been like, especially for the organization that really handles the whole RecWeek in general?
Yeah, so it's been pretty hectic for us in COA because aside from doing our own applications for COA, we also have to make sure that everything in RecWeek is going smoothly, and every time there's a technical glitch or like things that need to be fixed with all of the org events and following all of the blast schedules, we have to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So we're like running 2 ships at the same time. So shout out to all the COA people for keeping the COA boat afloat. Yeah.
And of course, all our other orgs, who are really trying to make their members who are trying to attract their members into the orgs and all this signing up process, the Gia?
Oo, that should be a little difficult. But again, they're all being creative with their initiatives and doing their best in an online setting. So I'm so glad to hear the 3 of you are okay. Despite, again, the online setting, you guys are doing so well. And especially as member development and engagement org reps, for sure, you guys are always the ones making the effort to keep in touch with the members, making sure they're okay. So it's so good that at least ngayon, we get to check up on you guys din, diba? Like, of course, we have to check up on you.
You guys
All
always
right.
ask how your members are, but whoever asks you, how are you?
Oo.
That's hit different,
Hala. Parang hindi na org. So, joke lang. Ayan.
Well, Gia, like we said earlier, these people are really making sure that they're on top of member engagement and development of the org culture. So I guess I want to know, and everybody wants to know, can you give us an idea of how you usually keep your members engaged throughout this whole context? Maybe Vaughn can start?
Thank you for that wonderful question. It's a really difficult thing to answer because honestly, I think all of us can just say the initiatives we have under human resources, because even if I represent hosting pool, it's a part of the larger department of human resources in ACOMM, and I also used to be part of HR for Blue Rip as well. So it's really easy to just say that, oh, we're gonna have GAs, we're gonna have standby weeks, but in my personal opinion, it's really the smaller things that matter in terms of building a lasting culture of engagement, because we really want to make sure that we have that rapport with the members, especially transitioning online, which is considerably more difficult, because I honestly think the unique thing about online communication is it's something you have to opt into. Like, you have to press that button to join the video call. You have to press that button to reply. Unlike where it's in person, you can be there and you can't really leave, not unless you can.
That's true.
And so really, member engagement is a very, very big thing. And what we've been trying to do in ACOMM is to try to simulate being together. So we're making like small things like a Discord server for people to study in, different rooms. And that's not just unique to ACOMM, because every org representative here, I'm sure, has counterparts of it in their own respective organizations as well. And so it's really just trying to build that culture at the very get-go. Actually, interestingly, we have a post where we just wanted to learn more about our new members, and it reached around like 1.4 thousand comments because we were all just busy replying to each other, and it's such a great thing seeing it this early.
Oh my God, that's so great.
That's
the first time I've actually heard about that. Na parang my post just asking everybody how they are. And it's like transparency, updating everyone. This is how I am. This is me. I'm part of the org.
Yeah. And then the fact that you get to reply to each other, diba? Like, oh, I'm also interested in this kind of, I'm interested in K-drama. Tapos your friends na, diba? Like, that's really, really so great. It's, again, very creative initiative, like as we were highlighting earlier on pa. So thank you so much for that, Vaughn. How about Julia? Do you have anything? How about for Code and for you guys?
Okay, so similar to Vaughn, it is really hard to deal with member engagement right now because I think we have to acknowledge nga na not everyone is okay with the online setting. Like, you might be active, and like if we're in school, you might be active in org, but when you're online, it's so hard to contact you, it's so hard to reach to you, right? And we can't really blame that person. So it's really about adjusting. Like what I told my HR department this year is that we really want to focus on meeting members where they are. So it's really us adjusting to them. So like little things now, like for example, before we used to do everything in Messenger, but then now, for example, if people prefer Telegram through text and stuff like that, like we adjust to that. Another thing is that we've really tried. Another thing to acknowledge is that there's a lot of new things right now, and we can't guarantee that every initiative is going to turn out well. So it's more of having like an experiment mindset. Now, okay, let's try this out, and then let's get feedback, and then if it works, then okay, let's do it. If it doesn't, then let's figure out how to change it. So for example, what we did, we had an online org room. So I think other orgs are doing this through Discord, but then we wanted to try it out through Zoom because at first we thought that Discord, parang, di ba, before you need an account ata to go to Discord. So we were like, oh, baka Zoom is better. So we tried Zoom, like we tried it out for a few weeks, and then we got feedback from members. And then from then, like we started to like parang modify it lang based on the feedback. And I think right now we're trying to explore Discord naman to see like what the difference is between Zoom and Discord. So yeah, it's really about trying things out, like not being afraid to go outside of the box nga, and just remembering to get feedback from them so that you know if it's like the most effective way to go about it. So yeah.
Thank you, Julia.
That's so true. Oh, I really like what you said about meeting members where they are. Like, because that's so important. Like trying and testing things out. That's really what's important now. Like, you have to be open to these changes and be very flexible. Your goal is to establish your org culture, make sure it's set. You have to do all of these, but to really make sure that you're getting the most out of it. So thank you so much for that, Julia.
Yes, thank you so much,
how about
Julia.
How about you, Annika?
I think for us it's a bit different because aside from like managing like the internals of COA and like my department and the whole council, we also have to think about the rest of the orgs that we serve, the orgs that are part of COA. So my department, we work really hard to come up with our list of initiatives for the year to offer to the orgs and to the student leaders so that they can be ready for the year ahead. An example, like before RecWeek even started, before RecWeek got moved because of the first day classes getting moved, we had a workshop with different org leaders about how to communicate what their org is. And we also had like different posts of how new members can prepare for ICs. Because I think it's really important also to make sure that everyone is equipped for the year ahead, especially those who might have not been org active before, even like the freshies who haven't really had the chance to experience org life and who are experiencing it in such a different way now. So it's really for us in COA, we're really trying to make sure that everyone is prepared and that we're there to support them in whatever they need.
Thank you so much, Annika, for sharing that. Actually, I think something we can take away from all the sharings is that with different contexts really require different interventions. And it's just like a learning process for everyone. You learn fast, you fail fast, and it's okay. Like, we're really just forgiving ourselves and taking it slow day by day, like what Vaughn was saying earlier, right?
Yep. That's so true. And actually, like, it's so glad to hear because we've asked you about your member engagement initiatives, but you already went and gave us how you were adjusting to everything. So that actually is really good to hear. But let's take a little step back into that. And I just wanted to ask about what are some of the things that you are keeping from your old initiatives. So for example, are there mentorship programs that you've had and still are going to keep, or like a family system, or like a department family thing going on? So this anybody can start. Maybe
Annika.
Annika.
Let's move backwards.
Sorry.
In COA, I think something that we're doing is we're really trying to innovate, but we're trying to keep the core essence of what we do still there. So for my department in PD, our efforts are still the same. We're still planning to have a lot of workshops this year and still make sure that we're there to support the different COA orgs with everything they need. But the difference of what we're doing this year is we're trying to really respond to what the needs of the orgs are. I'm really trying to understand what their context is and how we can best help them. And also something that I'm introducing is really a more asynchronous options. So trying to make PD more involved in producing like different informative posts in the COA page so that there's more than one learning avenue for the COA org.
Thank you, Annika. How about Julia?
Thank you.
Okay, so for us, I think we've been trying naman to keep the old things in the org. You know, like it's still tradition. But I like what we like to ask in the department also is that okay, it's tradition, but does it still work? So like we want to keep the old stuff like the family systems, the mentors, and all of that. But we try to really change it up a bit to make it adapt to what we're going through now. So for example, the family system, we kind of changed the way how we create families. So before we really focused on like having different personalities in a family, right? Parang making it about people who are grouping people who haven't met one another yet. But then for now, we really focus on similar interests and maybe mutual connections because it's a bit easier to interact online if you have a mutual connection with that person. And I guess another thing is that, like for example, our old projects, like we have Tambay Week and all of that. So we wanted to keep that parang Tambay Week idea, but then we transformed it online. So what we did is that the entire week, they're asynchronous, quote-unquote asynchronous session. So it's like posts lang on FB where members can interact, can comment and all of that. And then we just end it with a live session at the end. Para it's still like, we still feel like we're making tambay for the whole week, but then it's not really the same as before. So yeah.
That's so great. Thank you, Julia. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, you post, like, for example, yung mga bingo cards, yung mga guess the member, diba? Like, those are actually really good ways to keep the ball rolling, to make sure, exactly, like, initiatives like Tambay Week are stretched and translated into this online setting. So that's really good to hear. You're still keeping things, that are tradition, but questioning if, they really are gonna work. So that's really great to hear. How about for you, Annika?
Von.
Yvonne pala, sorry. Hello,
Back to
good
back?
morning. Back to back.
Boom!
Morning.
Annika.
Baka magising.
Sorry. Loading. Sorry, Vaughn. Go ahead.
I'd probably want to talk about it by how Julia brought it up a while ago. The idea of having a very experimental mindset going into this school year. It's really, really true, but at the same time, we do have to keep the spirit of our organization still very true to how it is usually, because we don't want to lose the attention that old members have. That's the reason why they fell in love. And at the same time, we need to adapt to the new context, into getting new members as well. And so it's a really strange balance, because what's interesting about ACOMM is we've never really found the need per se to have family systems, because being a home organization, it mostly manifests as a block already. So you have C1, C2, and C3, which is why having a family on top of that might be detrimental. It might be a high effort, low reward initiative pa. And so we really kept the spirit of that. So we have block reps, we have batch reps. But that isn't to say that there aren't people in ACOMM that aren't part of the communication course, because clearly there are somebody in our EB, the VP for events, is actually part of social. And so the spirit of family is really something we try to keep in each respective department, because essentially that's who you interact with the most anyway. But besides the family system, like initiatives that we're trying to transpose to an online context is having the online org room. We call it 309 online. Oh yes, Dr. Seuss. It's really, really nice, because one of the really good things about ACOMM, really standout memory from a lot of people in ACOMM, is just being there in the org room, doing your ACADS together, just inviting yourself to eat wherever you guys want, ordering Grab. And so we don't want to put that to waste, because that's something that we'd still want to be very, very strong, the kindred sense of family, of community. And so we're trying to adapt those smaller things along with the larger initiatives. Like we're going to have like a Tambay week, but it's going to be like a series of queries, like watch parties, among other things. So that's how we're trying to keep some systems in.
Yeah, actually, that's really interesting. Because actually, that's why we asked about the whole family system, is we know that a lot of the members really look to orgs for like the social aspect of it, and like family members or people who feel like family to lean on. Like personally, when I work, I like to feel that I am working with people who feel like home. And I guess that's how we can move towards towards our new question, which is how are you guys training your members into learning and immersing themselves into how to practice your advocacy in relation to member engagement also. So maybe for that, we can start with Annika as the TD head for COA.
So for me and TD, actually something this is really something I had to face, because most of my ex-team, shout out to my ex-team, most of them are sophomores, and I have a lot of freshie applicants also. So that really made me think about how I would tackle training and development for them. And something that we realized, like talking amongst ourselves in COA, is one, it's important to ask your other co-officers for help, and ask them, what are they doing? And also even going to like your other orgs or your friends from other orgs, and like figuring out and sharing your best practices. And from doing that, I really realized that it's important to employ both synchronous and asynchronous. Like, it's so gasgas na to say that, but it's really true. Like, so making like different things for them to read or things for them to watch, and also like having time then for them to come together, and so we can actually bond and become closer as a department.
Hey, thank you so much, Annika. How about Vaughn?
In terms of training and development, I think it's something that's keen that all orgs in Ateneo generally try to aspire to. There really is a balance between growth and trying to produce output, because essentially as organizations, we try as much as possible to keep up with initiatives, trying to have deliverables and as such. But really, there is a very specific emphasis on growth for ACOMM, particularly because we are somewhat of a supplementary entity to the course already. So it's something we already study. How do we take that further? So the training and development initiatives are mostly application-based workshops, and it really depends from department to department because you have already a journalism organization on campus that's guide on, but that's not to say we don't have aspects of journalism present in ACOMM as well, because we have workshops on fieldwork, we have workshops on other journalistic tendencies and the spirit of creating documentaries, and that's under the unit Mir Lab. And then also you have units like my own hosting pool, where it's specifically in the spirit of oration, trying to host, trying to speak, trying to listen, improv. And so it's very, very diverse, and that I think that's very specific also to the comm practice. It has a lot of utility. There is a comm application to every organization. You have a PR and marketing team everywhere. And so they really all manifest in the diversity that is ACOMM.
Thank you, Vaughn, for sharing that.
Thank you, Vaughn. Yeah, I really love that. I mean, as a member of ACOMM and like as a communication student, I really understand what you're trying to say here. Like, it's really stretching what communication is all about, and it doesn't just mean that it's in ACOMM, it's in other orgs as well. So you're so right about that. Tsaka, Von, ito na pala yung audition namin ni Shan para sa hosting tool, ha? Ito na pala yun.
Ito na yun.
Ito na yun,
So,
take note.
Pag wala, hindi ka na naman invite dito ulit. Joke lang. May-bribe.
Anyway, oo, ganun eh. Thank you
How about
so
you,
much
Julia?
again, Von. How about you, Julia?
Okay, so for me, actually the training and development part is handled by my partner, Trisha Reyes, shout out. So I think right now there's still no specific initiatives yet. I think we're gonna start when the newbies arrive. But I think now we're, in terms of planning, it's more on really, like what Annika said, parang combining both asynchronous and synchronous sessions. And I think departments in code are really trying to collaborate more so that we can provide, parang we can provide better quality of like projects and stuff like that. Like one of the things that we're looking into starting is code podcast. So
Wow.
it's not just about things, like not just about organization development, which we train our members for, right? But also like other aspects in life that coders can benefit from. So yeah, really looking for that way, like really looking for new avenues to help members learn and to, like what I said earlier, really meeting them where they are.
Oh, thank you so much,
thank
guys,
you.
for sharing all your stories and all your practices. I don't know about you, pero Gia, this just really shows how org life in Ateneo and the leaders in Ateneo really are so adaptable and try to make org life still alive no matter what context.
Yeah, that's so true. And especially these three, like they really put in all the effort, like for well-planned member development initiatives. And at the heart of it, like you can really tell, they have their members' best interests at mind, to really make sure they grow in skill set, they have a support system and everything else. So a round of applause talaga to you guys. Thank you so much.
Pero Gia,
Alright.
nakakalimutan. Di ba sabi natin,
Oh,
mag-standby lang si Sab and Kathleen kasi we wanted to call them in for
Oo.
a round of fast talk. So guys, we're bringing you back in. We haven't forgotten about you.
Let's welcome back Sab and Kathleen.
Do not hide from
Pasok.
us.
Ayan
na! Oy, Gia,
Alright, so
alam ko,
just
madami kang tanong.
Bye. Pero wala tayong time, ganon. So we'll make this like a super fast talk speed type of leveling off sesh. Kasi since, again, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of you guys really put the effort into asking members how they want to be approached, what's best for them. It's our turn to ask you guys, no? But with a little twist naman, of course.
Yes,
So-
guys. So answer these questions as fast as you can. We may or may not ask for an explanation, pero let's see.
Tsaka emphasis, pang org life to. Hindi
Oo,
yung
org
ibang
life,
klaseng life.
Baka
Okay, org life.
Okay.
Papa-love life tayo dyan. Alright, okay. So it's really just a this or that question. We'll be addressing it to each person. Alright, so Shan, why don't you start things off for us?
Okay, let's start with who's on my screen right now? Sab. Okay, Sab. When you're approaching someone or when someone approaches you, would you like it to be straightforward or pabebe?
Straightforward.
Ooh.
I like
Kung hindi
that.
sa org life, straightforward or pabebe?
Straightforward.
Wow, okay
Hi,
guys.
Sab. I have a crush on you. Ganon.
PM Sab na. Good
Hi,
PM,
Sab.
ma'am.
Yes. Nice to
Shopee
meet you,
order
Sab.
pala.
Oo, ganon. Text from Shop. Okay, thank you so much for that, Sab. That's great to
Okay,
hear.
next,
Alright,
next.
Ito, sino ba next sa katabi ko sa screen? Ayan, si Julia. Okay, Julia. When you're interacting or talking to someone, would you rather have it a small talk or H to H?
Ooh,
Heart to heart.
I like H.
Heart to heart, H to
Wow. When was the last time, Julia?
What?
When was the last time you had a heart to heart with someone?
Medyo matagal na eh. I was really busy with code apps right now.
So guys, if you want to have deep talks with Julia at 11 p.m. kasi maaga siya matulog, just message her, mga 10:58.
Oo. Kaya pa ng 2 minutes mag-heart to heart. Alright, thank you, Julia. Alright, who's next? Siya?
Next, okay, let's ask Annika. Annika, would you rather be a talker or a listener?
I would rather be a talker.
Why?
Because I like to make sure that everyone knows what I'm thinking and that I'm a very transparent person. But I also value listening. I think especially online, since you don't get to read body cues, it's really important to ask people what they're thinking.
Thank you, Annika. Guys,
okay.
Di, alam mo na, lahat ng mga listeners dyan, Annika is the compatible one for you. She will talk, she will listen.
Oh.
Perfect setup.
All in one, 2 in 1. All right. Okay, who are we asking next? I think I want to ask Kathleen. All right. Kathleen, who do you vibe with the most? Extroverts or introverts?
Introverts.
Ooh, can you tell us why?
Oh, because my energy is pretty chill and I like chill people also.
Yeah.
Actually, I see that.
Ayaw niya tayo, men. Ayaw na tayo. Alis
No.
na lang tayo dito.
Actually,
Ayan,
thank you so much, Kathleen, for that answer.
Thank you.
Tries to be chill. Well, okay, I guess we have the last one on the screen. Von!
Ayan! Nagtago pa. Ay, nako.
Von, would you rather receive a good morning message or a good night?
Ooh.
Good
An
morning.
8 a.m. or an 11 p.m.? Ah, wow! Good
8
morning.
a.m.
Are you a
Good
morning
morning.
person?
Hindi. Pero yun yung importante eh. Kahit masaklap yung umaga, pangit yung gising mo, hindi ka pa nakakain, wala pang toothbrush, pero may good morning. It matters.
Ay, oo.
Okay, noted.
True.
We'll message you tomorrow.
Noted,
Good morning.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much, guys, for being so game with that round of questions. And thank you so much for joining us in today's episode.
Thank you. You guys were so amazing. Thank you so much for being so G for this game. And of course, for sharing all your insights earlier on, no? All right. So are there any last minute words you want to say? Any shout outs? Any peeps watching there that you want to say hi to and shout out to? I think we have a lot of comments here from the Mayamors, from the ACOMM people, and from Code and COA as well. Let's say hi to them. Hello, and thank you so much for watching. All right.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, if anyone wants to contact them, make sure to just connect to them and they'll be sure to welcome you in. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye. Bye to our guests. All right.
Wow, Gia, it really,
Grabe.
from member engagement talaga on GAs, showing us the macro way or the big picture way to welcome guests, and now we're trying to tackle how we engage with them up close and personal. And today was really an interesting episode.
No, it definitely was. Because, I mean, at the heart of everything, like the pinaka-issue that we're worried about now in orgs is really how our members are, diba? Like their well-being talaga. And it's so great to see that these org reps are doing their best to make sure that they're very geared towards like the members' health and the members' growth. So that's really great. Not just the skill sets like sa org, diba? But in general din. So it's so great. And I had so much fun again with you and our viewers and our guests this past hour, no? I didn't even notice it was like 1 hour already. But
Exactly.
grabe.
So guys, if you want to join join in on the fun. Next week, we have another episode of Kwentuhang MVP where magdadaldala na naman tayo about MVP's happenings and org life. So, I guess that's it for us.
Stay tuned for like the future episode, the next coming episode for our posters, our pub mats here on Radyo Katipunan's Facebook page and their YouTube as well. So, again, this was your Daldalerong duo from MVP. Again, I'm Gia Crisologo from 3AB Communication.
And I am Shan from 4BS Comtech, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye!
All right, bye! Mans, we forgot to sing the jingle.
Oo nga pala.
Kwentuhang MVP!
MVP! Bye guys! See you next week!